This is the Feker Alice 80, an ergonomic gasket mechanical keyboard with an Alice layout. Let's hear the stock sound test. Yep, I know, it's way too muted. Which is not bad cause I think this board is intended for office environment. So here is how I modified this board. First, I opened up the case, which is not using any screws. I used this improvised guitar pick to avoid damaging the case. Gently push the keycaps while moving the pick. Remove the cover and start disassembling the board. I use the Accu switch container to organize the switches and keycaps for me to easily put it back later. I installed the Lubed Accu custom switch jelly block, which is the thockiest and at the same time heaviest switch of Accu. This is also what I use on the stock sound test. Be careful on removing the JST connectors. In my case, they are too tight and might be damaged if you pulled it aggressively. By removing the big chunk of silicone case dampening, this will get rid of the muted sound of this board. First mod will be the PA foam mod for a marbly sound profile. Here, I trace the PCB on the PA foam for a precise and detailed cut. I installed the PA foam, then the silicone plate dampening to trace the position of stabilizers for cutting. Cutting the PA foam exactly where the stabilizers are located for the preparation for the next mod. I'll be using the painter's tape for the so-called band-aid mod, which will reduce the harshness of the impact of PCB and stabilizers when bottoming out. And here's how it looks like when installed. Done with the PA foam mod and band-aid mod. Now let's put them back together for the Tempest tape mod. I'll be using 2 layers of Tempest tape to avoid reducing the flex. This tape will cover all the holes that are reducing the sounds and will overall give a deep and thocky sound profile. Don't forget to cut the holes for the JST adapters. Cut the excess part, then we're good to go with the next mod. This is the most important mod of mechanical keyboard. No matter how expensive your board, if the stabilizers were not tuned properly, it would produce an annoying ticking sound. Here, I disassemble the stabilizers and clean them with a towel. I use painter's tape or masking tape to cover all the parts of the wire that is causing the annoying thick sound, and turns out pretty well. Others are using the Holee Mod, but I prefer this method. I think I am the only one using this method, so maybe I should call it Christian Holee Mod. Only the top part of the wire will be covered to avoid the stabilizers from being stuck due to tightness. I also lube it with Krytox 205 grade 0 for the maximum smoothness. Then, put them back together so we can proceed on modifying the case. First, I tried putting some coins to substitute the weight that came from the silicone case dampening that I removed. Then the next one is the Polyfill mod. This will remove the hollowness sounds of the board while retaining the flex for comfortable typing experience. I tried tapping the back of the board and it produced sounds like annoying shaking coins, so I decided to remove the coins. Then, I installed some thin case foam to add more thock. Hide all the polyfill. Install and position the PCB and plate. Make sure to put back all the silicone gasket. This gasket will be sandwiched by 2 gasket with a poron foam material for the maximum flex. After positioning the gasket, press down the PCB to avoid the gasket from being misaligned while installing the top cover. Trust me, if you don't do this, the gasket will be misaligned resulting to an uneven flex. Gently install the top cover, and if you hear that satisfying click sounds, we're good to go for installing the knob. And here's what a modified Feker Alice 80 sounds like. By the way, if you like the sound test, please like and subscribe.